Hi everyone, I'm Elizabeth from Salty Crossing Soapery, and we are going to jump right into the pour for the March 2026 Soap Challenge Club. This month we're doing a spin swirl with an optional twist in the expert category. And I don't know that I would consider myself an expert soap maker, but I did know that I could 3D print the tool that I needed for the expert category, so I just decided to go for it. So here we are. My oils were, I believe, 118, and my lye water was at 117. That is a little bit warmer than a lot of people would choose to soap for a pour like this, where you needed the soap to stay fluid for a long time. But my formula had a lot of tallow in it, and I knew, because I actually had a failed attempt the first time, I knew that if I tried to soap too cool, I would get false trace and I would not achieve the fluidity that I needed anyway. I hand whisked just barely to emulsion, and then went ahead and split into my 6 cups for 6 different colors. And you'll catch here that I almost forgot my fragrance oil, but I did get it just after splitting the batch. I'm going to go ahead and speed things up here so we can get to the good part. I will put suppliers and particular colorant names and the fragrance details in the description, as well as the formula that I used for this batch of soap. So now that we've got all of our micas mixed, here's my slab mold with my 3D printed tool. Yes, the tool probably definitely needs some reworking, and it would have been nice if I could have just printed a singular tool on my large 3D printer, but it wasn't working, so I printed 2 pieces on my smaller printer. I calculated the volume of this batch to work out so that the slab would be about 1.5 to 1.75 inches thick. And then that way I would have lots of room to play to plane off the top and the bottom to get the bars to the point where they had a cool pull-through design on each side. I kind of wish when I got to the spin part that I had stopped 1 or 2 spins sooner, because I noticed that my colors, my swirls were gravitating towards the center of the mold, as they do, and I wish that I had not let them pull quite so far towards the center. The next day when I unmolded, I realized that sag in the silicone liner had actually misshapen the soap. That doesn't typically happen because the slab is completely full, and it didn't occur to me that that was going to happen on these bars. So I had quite a bit of trimming to do to get my rectangle shape back. This slab mold is 7.5 inches by 10 inches. So I decided to split the 10-inch side into 4 2.5-inch wide strips, and then cut each of those strips into 2 3 3/4 inch tall bars. The soap was still pretty soft here because there was more water in my recipe than I typically use. So after I cut them, I just left them sit until another day later, and then I came back to plane them. The planing might actually have been the hardest part, because every time you pass the soap over the plane, a different part of the pattern comes up, and I really struggled to decide when to stop. I use a little bit of isopropyl alcohol on the plane and the beveler portions when I'm gliding the soap across. I feel like it helps cut down on those drag marks that you might otherwise get on the face of the bar. Here they are. It took me 3 photo sessions to finally choose a photo that I liked. This particular one was shot at around 11 a.m. on my back deck. It's just glossy white poster board for background. It was cloudy but bright that day. Be sure to check the description for micas, fragrance, soap formula, the Soap Challenge Club sponsor this month, the guest instructor this month, all of that important information. Thank you guys for watching. Happy soaping.